host, Keeley, so I can run everything, okay? Okay, so, and we are going live. Okay, hi folks. Thank you for attending our very first inaugural UK, but worldwide, team training event. Tonight we have the incredible Sherry Denny coming in from the US to give us our first training. So without further ado, I just want to make a few points. Guys, if you've got questions, then please feel free to use the chat box, okay? Put your questions in there. We'll get to them after the training. And also, make sure you've got the old pen and paper to take lots of notes, because I'm sure Sherry's going to give us some great, good man. I'm sure Sherry's going to give us some great info over the next 20 minutes, half hour. Let's see how this goes. So Sherry, without further ado, over to you.
I am so honored to be able to be here with you guys. You know, last week was one of the first ones that I just happened to see you guys on Facebook, so I popped on and I was like, I felt like I was at home. I've been across the pond several times. I've got Karen Ronning on here from Norway, and she knows I've taken that trip several times and done a few speaking engagements over there, and I feel in my complete comfort zone here. It's what I love to do. I just got major goosebumps on that. That was cool. So I just want to welcome everybody here. We've got people from clear over here, Fairbanks, Alaska. Hello there, Skip. And Norway, Sweden, UK, gosh, where do we, Africa. I mean, holy cow, how many more can we bring on here? About 50 more. So this is the whole purpose of this, is to kind of get you guys realizing, for one thing, what you have in your hand. And that's this little tiny Go unit here. Now, I'm not going to do an overview. I think you guys have one of those in an hour. And, you know, there's a good possibility I might pop on that and show you how I do mine. We have been so effective with these webinars. The very first one that I saw, the very first day I got in, which I think was 93 days ago now, 18 people that day out of about 20 webinars I think were done. Every hour there was a webinar being done, and every single person that came on realized what this could do to help get more eyes on their business. So I thought, really? Does this really happen like this? Not to everybody, apparently. So I know the webinars work, and so I started joining in with Curry, and I swear that guy has 100% sign-up rate. Tina and Kelly do really, really well with theirs. Jon, you guys, Keeley and Donna-Marie, you guys are on the verge of just blowing this up. The best thing that you guys can be doing constantly and be consistent about this is the invite. Is your job is just to invite. You do not need to go call somebody up, or definitely not Facebook them and just slam them with your business. It's building a rapport with them, building some type of connection with them. And then before you know it, they're asking, well, what is it that you do? So, good thing I brought water. So, the invite is probably the most number one thing that you're going to want to be doing. And so about an hour before a webinar, I'll put the post out there, or I will text it. I will also email it. I will also Facebook message it to people that maybe don't check their email. And Lord knows, do you know people don't check their email anymore? What is it these days? A lot of people have this in their hand, and there are a lot of people, good grief, 80% of the population. Did you guys see my post earlier? If 80% of the population has their face on this more than 100 times a day, don't you think that's where you should be advertising? So I sent that out. 2 posts I've done on my personal Facebook page, and I hardly ever put anything on there. One was, would you like customers, you guys try this, it really works. Would you like customers 24/7 without saying a word? I'll say it again. Would you like customers 24/7 without saying a word? Question mark. I posted that on my Facebook page. I had maybe 8 people respond to it, like, what do you mean? Well, within 3 days, all 8 of those people signed up. Is all I did was that one sentence. Now I use, and I started a fan page, and that helps as well. But now I use, are you using Bluetooth marketing yet? Oh, do I don't have the t-shirt here. I wore it the other day, it must be in the bedroom. But anyway, are you marketing with Bluetooth technology? Sorry, I got that all wrong. Are you marketing with Bluetooth technology yet? And on the back of the shirt, it says, has the little logo there, and it says, ask me how. And 5 people stopped me, 5 people signed up. You know, it's because they were curious. That is a major invite, wearing that on you. Another thing that I have noticed that works really well, and that's what you guys want to know, right, is what works. You don't want to know what doesn't work, right? I'll tell you some things that don't work in just a minute. But what works is not sitting in your home and you know, just kind of hanging out at your house, except I happen to be one of the lucky ones. I have a football field 50 yards away from my balcony here, and I just have one of these hanging from a wind chime out there. And every event downtown, there's about 1,000 people down there. I get more hits than I know what to do with. It's getting eyes on your business. How do you follow up with that? Well, I don't know how many of you are using this. You've got to have some type of capture page. I know there's several of them out there. I didn't want to pay for one to start with, so I started using Wix. I think it's Wix.com. Well, guess what? It's not a secure website. And I even contacted the people at Wix, and I asked if they would be willing to put the HTTPS, the S, on the end of it. And they said, oh, yeah, no problem. Well, that was 2 months ago, and I still don't see it. And you can put the S on the end of it. You can put it in our ULR checker, and it will say successful. Well, guess what? You're only fooling Asirvia. You can't fool Google. So once it is, your 40-character message is actually put in the box where you stick your 40-character message, and then you put your URL down below and push send, it will say pending, and then guess what? It'll come back the next day that it's not valid. We don't want that. So find out, make sure that when you're putting that in there that it is a secure site. So anyway, all these things that work, the invite, that is probably more important than anything. You guys realize that we have webinars, not just yours. And by the way, gosh, look how many people are in the room now. This is awesome. Somebody taking a picture of this? So the invite is so important. And here's another thing I found. And granted, I've only been doing this for 93 days. I have 3 other businesses, and I'm almost ready to put 2 of those on hold, is persistence. People, it's funny. I used to own a spa business up in Alaska. And in fact, Skip, you might, if you've been up there long enough, you probably heard of Alaska Clearwater Spas. That was me back in the 90s. And it would take 5 to 6 times where people would come in and they would finally purchase. 5 to 6 times where they actually look at something. So I gave this out to several people, you know, after I sponsored a bunch of people, and you guys have probably gone through the same thing. And you've given somebody the link, or you've talked to them maybe 2 or 3 times, and you know they keep telling you no. I know we've got a lot of network marketers on here, and no just means no for now, unless they literally say, would you stop sending me that stuff? I think that's a no. And so, you know, take them off your list. Every now and then you're going to get that. But here's what I have found that is so compelling about this little Go unit is, who do you ever talk to that without this, just even without this at all, who have you ever talked to and you say, are you looking for more customers? And they say no. So anybody that has a service like Jon, I mean, good grief, how many window washers do you guys know? You must have a gajillion windows in London. and landscapers, oh my gosh, you guys have the most beautiful rolling hills and landscaped areas. And I mean, if somebody could get in touch with the Queen and have tea, she'd freak out over this. So, by the way, I never got invited to the wedding. What was up about that? I was there. So, the invite, this is just really, really important. I know I've got Karen on here from Norway. I wish she'd pop open her video there for a second. She got on with this right away and went and talked to, you know, a few people, friends of hers that have done networking before. Now, Karen has done a lot of networking companies, and she's pretty successful at it. And it's all about the invite. I don't know of anybody that, here we go back again to the customer. Where do you ever come across somebody that has a business and they say no to you about customers? So think about jewelers. Good grief. I think when I can't remember, I want to call it Westfield, I think was the mall that I went to just down from the airport. And there's so many people in there that would love to have this in their window. Does it work in a car? I got to tell you guys something. Everybody said, "I'll just throw it in your your little glove box there." I know y'all got a different name for everything over there, so I'm trying to make it right.
That works here too. That works here too.
Okay. You know, the garage, that's something else. So I found that it doesn't work in my glove box. It definitely doesn't work in my garage. And I have a 24-unit complex right across the street from my garage. I'm here in a beautiful fourplex, and everybody in here gets my message when it's, in fact, they come to me and go, "How many of these things do you have in your house?" I always bring them in with me because I know it doesn't work out in the garage. And that's simply because the garage has metal siding on it. So, you know, this isn't going to transmit outside of metal. You know what's really fun, though? If you go to a hotel and it will transmit 300 feet up, north, south, east, west, up, down, that's great if it doesn't run into any metal. So I'm not sure that that's the most perfect place to have one of these, but I have done this. Am I allowed to screen share?
Absolutely.
I think I can do that. I got to show you guys this because I've had so many laughs and giggles from this. Let's see if I can do this really quick. Okay. I have a PowerPoint here, but this is all I want to show you guys is from the current slide. Okay, so do you see that right there? Let me see this over. That's the place. It's in Jerome, Arizona, and that's an old 1800s jailhouse. And down below this, right across through here, there's a bunch of locks. I actually moved that bench so I can get my Go unit up there. But there's a bunch of locks on here, and people put their little locks on there, you know, no key, they just lock it on there for good luck. Well, I thought, well, this ought to be good luck. So I stuck an Asirvia Go unit up 10 feet. By the way, it's still there. It's been there for over a month. And it says, "Welcome to Jerome." I get more clicks on that. So, you know, here's the little unit over here. And then I went to, I don't know if you guys have heard about this place, but it's Sedona, Arizona. I used to live in Colorado too. Sedona, Arizona. And it's like the mecca of like a lot of spiritual things that happen. And there's the little unit right there. in the bushes, right smack downtown in the middle of this open mall where all the way around it are hundreds of restaurants. Restaurants. That's where people stop, they sit down, they're eating, and guess what else they're doing? They got their face glued to their phone. So again, if 80% of the people, and granted, these are androids, if 80% of the people have their face in their phone more than 100 times a day, don't you think you should be advertising there? So I hope I've given you guys some really good skills on where you could leave these things or possibly lose these things.
I love the way, Sherry, you used the other night, strategically losing your device. Now that says everything you need to think about. It's like, and think about who you can send them to as well. That's another good thing that I've heard. You know, I've sent one of my beacons. I've got a very good friend that manages a very famous shop on Venice Beach, not far from where Muscle Beach is. So I've asked him to actually have one of these beacons under his counter. And so I sent that out to him. I think he got it about last week. And so all that does is that beacon connects to a page that I built, and it's got me on there introducing myself. Hi, I'm John from the UK, and I bet you're wondering how I know you're wandering along Venice Beach this afternoon. You know, and it just gets people's minds thinking, because there's this English guy suddenly popped up on the phone in Venice Beach. Now I know it's on Venice Beach because that's where the beacon's located. So I'm playing with people's minds straight away, and then I'm directing them to one of the two buttons on the side to either see a video or to connect with me directly via Facebook Messenger. So yeah, it's just thinking outside the box. You know, the only limitations are the ones that you set on yourself. So think outside the box, guys. That's the best thing. So many ideas.
John, you said it right there. Thinking outside the box, you have to do that with this. I have several people. Oh, and I like the fact that you stated when you have a message on there, it needs to link to what that message relates to, because there's some that work. You know, like I put one on there that said, "Hey, this is Sherry. Hi," but I sat down at the courthouse at the square downtown, and I could literally see these people walk by and it show up on their phone, you know, the Android phones, and they're looking around like, where is she? And I'm like, listen, like, how did you do that? Then I show them, but the link did go to Asirvia, but you got to be there on the spot for something like that. The guy that literally ran out of a restaurant because I had the shirt on that said, you know, are you marketing with Bluetooth technology? He has a company that uses, I forgot what it was again. John, you know what it is, geo something, where they advertise with geo marketing?
Geo-targeting.
Geo-targeting. I'm going to write that down. And it cost him $400 a month for that service. And it doesn't get, and it only goes 50 yards. It only 50 feet or 50 yards. I think he told me 50 feet. So they have to capture people right away with that. And this, when you put your 40-character message on there, I don't know how many of you on here have I know you all have a business. I know you do. I don't know how many of you have a service, but if you could put something on there that, I mean, like maybe you sell insurance and you say, do you have enough insurance? I don't know that I would click on it. Even if I didn't have any insurance at all. But what I would click on is, you're paying way too much for that. And then connect it to your insurance. Or for realtors, oh my gosh, I have come up with some pretty fancy ones. There's a ton of them in your back office. Why did the realtor cross the road? And even people that aren't realtors want to know, why did the realtor cross the road? I have another one that says, look what Waldo found. I guess Waldo isn't a big deal over there, but Waldo's like huge over here. And people click on it, and it does go to a capture page. And in the background, it's kind of translucent. You can actually see Waldo. And he found the Asirvia Go. So it's got to be a compelling message. To kind of change the focus here. I know there's probably some people that have questions here. Do we want to open this up? I can see them. The battery is good for 2 years. If indeed something does happen to your device within the first year of you purchasing it, starting that subscription with it, it's $25 to replace it. That's on lost, theft, smashed, whatever it is. But anything after 366 days, it's free. So the battery is, the battery life is supposed to be 2 years. And somebody else has a question?
Yeah, so Angeline in Maui was asking about her husband's a window cleaner, much like myself. Yeah, so basically, Angeline, all I've done is I've built my own web page, video info.
Hi, Lucy. Hush. Hush.
Harold, can you mute out, please, buddy? Hang on, let me get Harold. Hang on.
And thanks, Brian, for the geocaching. I'm literally writing that down.
So following on, the web page that I've built is a video intro page. So as soon as anyone clicks on my link, they see me out on my day job with my window cleaning equipment. I use the Pure Water-fed pole system. So I'm out there, clean the window, and I just give a quick intro. Something very simple like, hi, do you need a reliable regular window cleaner? Then feel free to click the link below and send me your details so I can give you a call. And I've done that, and I've got one of my beacons in a friend's shop in my local town centre. So that's the way I use that particular beacon. I've got 8 beacons, but I've got various businesses that I promote. Now, that's the only beacon I'm actually using for my window cleaning because I've got a full-time round. So my focus is Asirvia and my other online businesses.
Can I ask you about, is it okay if I talk?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
So when they click on that link and it goes to that video, where is that video hosted? Do you have a website? Does it go to your website?
Yeah.
And
there are all kinds of platforms you can use. I use a platform called Online Sales Pro. So I host all my videos. It's a YouTube video, and I embed that inside the page that I build at Online Sales Pro.
That's a good question. Here's another thought that you guys might want to think of. Anybody on this, it doesn't matter if you open your video or not, you can, if you can take a screenshot of this and you put it in your invite to the next webinar, people are going to want, because there's a lot of people on, 5, 10, 15, 21 people on here right now. People are going to want to know, whoa, what's going on there? I want to be part of that. People don't want to be left out. And if you use the sentence, 80% of the people look at their cell phones. 80% of people look at their cell phone more than 100 times a day. Wouldn't you want to know what's going on there instead of saying advertising? Wouldn't you want to know what's going on there? Please join us on this next webinar. You guys will be shocked at how many people will join you just to see what's going on. Not the training one, but obviously the overview. And the overview, we've always made those the very beginning of it, just kind of introducing everybody. And then we go over who's using these. And it's amazing, all the stuff that goes in the chat. John, you've been on there several times. All the things that go in the chat about all the different businesses, because Tina will say, hey, what are you using this for? And, just a bunch of them go in there. And it opens up the newcomer's mind to how they can be using this. And that is so important. I've been in this industry for going on 25 years now. And I used to do it a lot. I would forget what it was like to be the new one on the block. And I would be talking way over their head. And you can't be doing that. This is how do you start out with this from day one? And that is literally doing the invite. Don't try to do it yourself, because you know what people do. John, you know what people do. they wind up throwing up on everybody around them, everything they know. And what you really want to be is, you want to be the librarian. You don't want to be the whole library. So connect them to things that will get them excited about it. The other thing is, we have when Curry does his training, or his just getting on Facebook, and just, it was hilarious yesterday. He was sitting there like this and just like, oh man, it was incredible. He talked about absolutely nothing, and well, we all know Curry, so he's going to pull people on there anyway. But use a FaceTime Live, just spur of the moment. Don't set up an event, because not everybody's going to come. If you set a specific time, has anybody found out when you set a specific time how many people don't come? So, yeah, thanks, TJ. And timing is impeccable. So if you can just get on Facebook Live and just talk about nothing, and then the next day or maybe later that day, just get on there and talk about, maybe a hike you took or just something. But every time you're getting ready to get off of there, you say, gosh, I just don't have any time to tell you guys, but I got something about ready to blow up, and I want you to know about it. Just tune in next time. Something that's going to bring them, even that gave me goosebumps. And I don't know what I would be talking about, but eventually you're going to say, hey, I've been working with this cute little device here. I know a lot of people don't know anything about it. If they've heard anything, they probably don't know what it does. But wouldn't you like to go out there and have a lot of people just be attracted to your business just because you're going out there and showing some people this little go unit? I mean, there's so many ways you can do this. Just marketing yourselves and marketing this little go unit. I think, was it Curry I saw had them attached to his ears while he was doing both sides. Somebody's going to make earrings for this. I swear somebody's going to do that. Do that. And if you have an Android device, these are things that I've been doing and it's been working, and I'm like just a couple points away from leader right now, so something must be working. Is I take my Android device. I actually went and got this for 99 cents. It's a Samsung whoop-de-doo iPad, pad thing. I've never had a Samsung in my life. Can you guys tell? I'm an iPhone person. I couldn't have cared less that I couldn't see these, but it seems like a lot of other people did. Show me how it works. So I went ahead and got one of these for 99 cents. I think it's $10 a month for 1 gig is all I use this for. And it's that big. It's like 9 inches. Is all I use it for is to show people that the devices show up on here. You can pull down like everybody that how many Android users do we have on here? Somebody, surely you guys, yeah. Then Donna-Marie, you know that when you're checking your notifications that you pull down on it to get it. And there, let me see, nearby, blah, blah, blah. There it is right there. And so when I click on that, geez, I got a lot of devices sitting in here. All of the devices show up. When I was able to show that to people, they're like, oh my gosh, what's that? Guess which one gets clicked on the most? This is crazy. It's because people know Facebook more than anything. So they see the Facebook one up there. I don't know if you can see that. They see the Facebook logo, and the 40-character message says, special just for you, 50% off limited time. Oh yeah, I get clicks on that every day long, all day long, every day. And it goes right to my Asirvia Go Facebook page. So that's one way to help people understand what it is that they have in their hands. I'm going to talk real quick about, because we're already at 35 minutes. John, I told you I wouldn't be very long.
You've got all as long as you want, Sherry, absolutely as long as you want.
This morning, one of the neatest things happened. I have a friend up in Washington, and he just signed up last Monday, was 16, and we're getting all his devices all ready to go, and he has this gal that lives actually only an hour and a half away from me here in Phoenix, and she's very skeptical. And I thought, uh-oh, don't you just love skepticism? And I thought, you know what, I can handle this. And I said, just get her on the phone, because she was asking him a lot of questions he absolutely couldn't answer. And so my first question to her was, are you looking for more customers, or you just don't think this doesn't work? And she goes, oh, no, I've got 4 businesses. I absolutely want customers. I want to be able to use these in my booths when I go and do fairs, job fairs and things. And her husband is still in the military. And I mean, it's like paycheck to paycheck. And I said, well, what if, I mean, I don't know if anybody said anything to you, but what if you knew there was another income stream attached to this? And she said, what? And that's the way I approach everybody, is as a customer first. And she started talking about her struggles. And I just asked the what if I could show you a way while you're getting more customers that you could not only make your income larger with that, but that you could also make an income from this. And she immediately started doing the calculations. If I sold 1 a month, that's only 25%, so that's $4. I thought, oh, honey, I got to get you to think outside of the box. You never want to get just one of these, because the 2 people out of all the people that I've gotten in, and pretty much everybody else we've talked to, they get 1 and they're wind up ordering 3, because you have an opportunity to give somebody more than one choice when they see your 40-character message. So say your 40-character message is you have an ice cream shop and you're just selling chocolate. And they don't like chocolate. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? But they don't want chocolate. Well, you've kind of lost a sale right there. So 3 devices at least, and you give them options on what they're going to click on, even if it's for the same business. She goes, oh, wow, that is really cool. And I said, so you have what kind of businesses? And one's a coffee business, and another one is, oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot what they are. One's a weight loss thing, and anyway, it doesn't really matter. I said, focus on one of those if you're just going to get 3. But if you've got 8 and you were able to put 2 or 3 on each one of those businesses every time you do a show, your chances of getting more people's eyes on your business is so much greater. And she goes, oh my gosh, and I was just going to get 1. So it's not a sales pitch, you guys. You have to let them understand, if it's just 1, they're going to be so mad at themselves. So the couple people that have gotten the 1, they went ahead and ordered, this is a tip, you guys, they went ahead and ordered 3 more, and when those arrived, they canceled their first one. Make sense? I got somebody else wanting to sign up right now. This is so cool. Another doctor out of Colorado.
Right, sorry, I've got a couple of questions here, Sherry, which you may be able to help.
Let's help out.
So we've got Angeline again saying that she's an iPhone user. She's just bought an Android. Now, do you need to turn on the phone service for it to work, or the Wi-Fi?
It needs to be Wi-Fi. It needs to be Bluetooth enabled, and then you go to settings. In fact, this is pretty easy. I'll just show you real quick. Let me get that off of there. So when you pull it down, you'll see the little cog right there, and you just click on settings, and all of these items will come up. You're going to go down to Google, which is right there, and then you'll scroll down to nearby, which is right there. I think I clicked, yeah. And as soon as you click on nearby, it'll show anything nearby that has, restaurants, whatever. It'll show everything there. All your devices will show up. So just,
I actually enabled all that, and it isn't showing up. I mean, I just signed up. I just got a device. I just got a phone, and my husband has been trying it because he has the window cleaning trucks everywhere. And hasn't been working.
Are
And
your devices are there, right? And they're active?
Mm-hmm. And he has the phone to check to see if it's working, and it hasn't popped up.
And that's happened on a few phones. How old is the phone? Because it needs to be, now this is a 7.0 and it works.
I just bought it for this purpose at Target.
Oh, yeah. And you do have Wi-Fi enabled?
It is enabled.
Wow. And do you need it in English or any other language?
It's in English.
Okay.
I Bluetooth enabled it. I Google enabled it. I Wi-Fi enabled it.
Okay, that happens a few times, and here's a good way to segment into the next thing I was going to talk about real quick. Asirvia has a brand new fresh face support system in your back office, and here's what I've had people do. You have to go in there, sign up for it. You actually have to register for it. Don't just put a support ticket in, because it is available to do that. But sign up for that and say, hey, I have done this, 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 and this exactly the way it's supposed to be. And all of the support tickets go to the same place now, so you don't have to try to figure out, which one to send it to. And send in that support ticket. I've gotten some pretty quick responses when I put urgent, need this by Friday. And I get it the next day. So you've done everything that you can possibly do. I don't know about having the phone enabled on there. I don't have my phone enabled on here. Is all I have is Wi-Fi and a gig worth of service on there.
Okay, I'll try that. I have some other questions, but I don't want to take up the time because it's probably not related
that's
to
fine, actually. That's more than happy to answer. You was asking about the back office and how do you get in there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically, you're an affiliate, I take it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have your username and password.
Yes.
Literally log into the Asirvia website, yeah? And then when you get into the back end, you'll see Home, Account, Services, Network, and Resources along the top. If you click on the Resources, you'll find the frequently asked. If you click on Resource Center, you'll find all the frequently asked questions. Got all the support tickets, you've got the tools, the videos. There's so much stuff in there. And like Sherry said, they've got the new Fresh Desk, which is literally just launched in the last couple of days. And they are intending to have a live chat support coming live very shortly as well. So,
and I can find that in the FAQ? Fresh.
That's all in that back end, yeah. It's all in that. So if you click on Resources, and then Resource Center, it will bring it up.
And Angeline, I see your other question there, that if you cancel your first one, that is going to be the #1 question people are going to have coming up to you. No, it's not going to cancel your first subscription, because you're literally ordering your other 3 or your 8 or your 20 inside of your own office. So I have told people consistently, now that it's there that you can actually order more, you just go ahead and click the I agree, order what you want. When those get there, then you go in and you cancel. It's right there in your back office under orders. You just cancel that order, the old one. It's still going to be.
My customers still are my customers, and I still get whatever residual.
Absolutely, yeah. Yes, all you're doing is changing the number of devices you have.
Yeah, but absolutely wait until you get that second delivery.
Yeah, wait.
Don't do it before that.
Okay, I want to go back to the back end question, if I may, if that's okay. So what I was wondering is, I want to send people directly to my Asirvia page because it has so much there, all the videos and everything. But I want to personalize it with my own video, with different things that are more me, because I feel like that would speak to people more than when they're coming to this purple page. So can you do that? Can you go in and manipulate it by putting your own? You can't. And is that an HTTPS, or is that just a...
Do you want me to take that one, John?
Yeah.
You're not able to manipulate the Asirvia page at all, but what you can do is what John and a lot of us have done is get a sales funnel, and we've been able to accomplish changing everything. For us, we're using Online Sales Pro, and talk to John about that. But I was able to go in there and literally make my own video of another product that I have. It's not even network marketing at all. It's a cardio miracle for heart disease. And I did that video, and I put it on a splash page, had it connected to my Go unit, went up to Flagstaff for a cancer run. You guys, this is a cancer run, and this product is for heart disease. And I got 107 emails back on that, 97 orders, $1,200 in volume, $1,200 in actual orders for the product. And I forgot I even had it in my car.
So you're saying if you have this video, go to a landing page, you can opt in, grab their emails, and then you can start them in a funnel.
Yes.
And that's working for you and working for other people well.
It's been working for me every single day. That was a spectacular day. That was something I didn't expect. It just happened because there was 5,000 people there. It's pretty good to get 107 emails back.
Do you find the funnel works better than sending them right directly to the Asirvia page?
John, what do you think? I think it does.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to try and capture people's information because then you can also put them into a follow-up email series. You can follow up with emails. You know, you can build a relationship with them. You can answer questions. You can give them more updates, more value. So it's always worth, you know, building an email list on the back end of that as well.
Okay, so you'd suggest that first before actually just sending people to a page. Really try to funnel people.
I mean, I've tried all sorts of things, to be honest. I've tried, I've built a fan page because first and foremost, when I got started, I wanted to see the hits, that I was actually getting hits from the beacons. So I built a fan page. My house is up for sale right now. So I built a quick fan page and put my house for sale on that fan page. And then I connected 3 of my beacons. And during the summer, when our local town was full of holidaymakers, we put 3 of the beacons along our seafront. And I was getting hits every day. So I could, because you can check in a fan page, you can check the insights.
You mean on Facebook?
Yeah, you could check insights on a Facebook fan page, and that tells you that the page is getting viewed. So that gave me the confidence that the devices are working. So the next step for me will be to now create new lead capture pages with our OSP system, and actually start building the email list, just like Sherry said she's been doing. So, you know, we've been playing around with all sorts of things. I've got a YouTube video connected to one of my beacons because, again, just like the Facebook emblem, the YouTube emblem shows up on the notification. And then I can check the views that video is getting. So it's been a sort of a process of building the confidence and building the belief that these things are what they say they are.
Yeah.
From now on, it's simply going out and building that email list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Angeline, another thing too, Donna-Marie has been so vigilant here, getting other things on there about turning your Bluetooth. Thank you so much. I see that. That's one thing I totally forget about. When you're connecting it, make sure that the contact, it's KONTACT, I think comes up first. Yeah, KONTAKT, and that means that it's actually pairing with your device. And you'll see, as many devices as you have, you'll see that name as, you know, that many times. And you know it's working that way. And then you're right. It's been so long since I've had to do that. Turn your device off, and then not your Go, you can't do that, but turn your Android off and then turn it back on, like hard way turn it off. You know, like I do my iPhone, I turn it completely off and then start it again. And sometimes it just reboots it and it's able to bring all those things up. Thank you, Donna-Marie.
Okay, cool.
Just so you know what that looks like, if you can see my phone, this is my Bluetooth. I've switched on my Bluetooth, okay? And you can see the contacts at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you can see them anywhere on your Android device, then you know the beacons are working.
Okay, I didn't see that.
There you go. Yeah.
So
yeah, it took me a couple times to start with too. Yeah. So
I have some other questions, but I don't want to take up everyone's time. So maybe I should talk to somebody off line, so I don't want to ask any more. I feel like I'm taking up all the.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but you know what's neat, Angeline? These are the questions that people have in the very beginning, and then once they get it, they're like, oh, okay, but having a platform like this and you're able to get all those answered, there's somebody else on here who has that same question, so that's the beauty about it. If you go into your resource center, and it tells you how to, it literally step by step in your back office, all that is there. And it's nice to know you know how to get into your back office now too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a question about being on a small island, but that's not a concern for a lot of people. So I'm wondering who I could ask that to when maybe it doesn't have to be in this live video session, but I have a question about that. So who would I talk with about that?
What's it about? What's it concerning again?
Well, I live on a small island. I would live on Maui, and so
lucky you.
Yeah, I'm from LA, but I moved to Maui, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And so I don't believe anyone has this here yet. And I'm a branding specialist. I do video. I'm a TV producer from before. And so I had been working with a client who I mentioned this to, and suddenly we had this idea of putting it in the airport where there's only one airport.
I've been there several times.
Okay, and so all the tourists come there. And so having something that, engages that tourist right away so that they can purchase or click on whatever links that we provide for them from there. There's two questions. There's also the MLM aspect, which if we have everybody do it, there's only so many places. There are.
Don't even worry about it becoming saturated there. Here's the thing. Curry himself lives in a town of 900 people, and he's one of the most successful distributors here. And on Maui, the first thought that came to my mind, because I've been there several times, living in Alaska, that's where I used to go on my R&R when I worked up on the oil fields every 4 weeks. And I always went to 7 sacred pools. You know how many people are there. And it's a place where people are, they may sit and they may look at their phone. Another good place is there at the Sheridan, where they have that buffet and people are sitting there looking at their phone. The other one is right downtown Maui, that strip where there's so many beautiful shops. If you know a shop owner there and you could just set this in 1 or 2 in their window and give one of them for a trial to them to just attract people in. There's so many things that you can be doing there, and they don't need to be specific just to Maui. Send these to one of your friends in LA. In real estate, people are going to be swarming to get this.
So say we have one, like you're saying, on Front Street, and there are, say, several restaurants there that would like to have these, and several shops. If somebody walks into the area, are they going to be inundated with everybody's notification?
Well, that might be 5 years down the road, but right now, hardly anybody has these, so it's going to be real interesting. But guess what? Right now, we're inundated with all those messages anyway. If you have your Facebook notifications come, it's going to be the norm.
So I could go and sell this service to every single person on the block, and they'll just get.
Here's why. One person may have surfboards, another person has art, and if they put on their message, bring this in for 20% off anything, one item, they have to bring it in, and it's specific to their store. So that's what I did with the stores down here. There's so many people to go talk to. Don't worry about what if, because we don't know. It's and you're absolutely thinking outside the box, because there's no reason why every single store down there shouldn't have one. People can swipe it away. They can push down on it and block it if they want. It's, you know, we're all in compliance here.
And then I'm sorry, I have all these questions. Is anybody selling it as a service in conjunction to, say, other social media? Because I do that and I do video branding, and so I'm wondering if it can be sold in conjunction. Oh, and also another question is putting it at the Seven Sacred Pools or the Sheraton. Will the Sheraton have an issue with that? Or
well, you need to find somebody that's willing to put it there for you. Like Tina, her dad goes to the cardiac unit at Stanford University, and so she knows one of the nurses there, and the nurse literally put it in a wooden drawer for her. So, okay. You know, just think, and I know you guys have another webinar here in about 4 minutes.
Sorry, I don't want to take up the time. So.
No, it's okay, but there are a lot of these questions. These questions actually, you know, they're answered because of experience of, you know, people using them, of testimonies and things. But any other questions back there, frequently asked questions, they're in the back office. It's really cool. So anybody else have any other quick questions? John, Donna-Marie, Keeley, you guys want to take it? I hope I've helped somebody on here. Harold's got some music going on in the background.
How do I keep?
So anyway, I want to thank every single one of you for coming on here. I don't know, John. I've got this doctor said he's going to call me when he's done tonight. He's an hour ahead of me, so I've got probably quite a few hours before that. But if you want to show you my overview, I can do that. I even wrote it down in euros.
I'm mute myself. First and foremost, I want to just say thank you, Sherry, for coming on and giving us an hour of your time. I'm going to hit stop on the record button now, and there we go. So what we're going to do now, Sherry, you still good for another half hour or so?
Yeah, it only takes me about 17 minutes to do an overview.
Superb. So, yeah, so we're getting close now to our 9 p.m. Zoom call. So Sherry has kindly agreed to give us her Zoom for us. And we're going to run straight into that. So what we'll do, Sherry, is if we can just give it a couple of minutes, we can have a bit of a chit-chat